Hello dear friend, and welcome to On This Day SMR with me, Edward Hertz, where we take a look back through history at events which took place on this day. As you can hear, the rain is gently pittering and pattering away on the window, and the fire is crackling away nicely in the hearth. So, put your headphones on, sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey back through time. So today is Monday the 8th of January 2024, and we have 55 historical events to cover, going all the way back to the year 307. Starting with the most recent event, which happened a year ago in 2023, supporters of former Brazil President Jair Bolsonaro stormed the Brazilian Congress. 3 years ago in 2021, 23 people are killed in what is described as a police massacre in La Vega, Caracas, Venezuela. 4 years ago in 2020, Ukraine International Airlines Flight 752 crashes immediately after takeoff at Tehran Imam Khomeini International Airport. All 106 on board are killed. The plane was shot down by an Iranian anti-aircraft missile. 8 years ago in 2016, Joaquin Guzman, widely regarded as the world's most powerful drug trafficker, is recaptured following his escape from a maximum security prison in Mexico. In the same year, West Air Sweden Flight 294 crashes near the Swedish reservoir of Akashuari. Both pilots, the only people on board, are killed. 13 years ago in 2011, sitting US Congresswoman Gabby Giffords is shot in the head, along with 18 others in a mass shooting in Tucson, Arizona. Giffords survived the assassination attempt, but 6 others died, including John Roll, a federal judge. 14 years ago in 2010, gunmen from an offshoot of the Front for the Liberation of the Enclave of Cabinda attack a bus carrying the Togo national football team on its way to the 2010 Africa Cup of Nations, killing 3 people and injuring another 9. 15 years ago in 2009, a 6.1 magnitude earthquake in northern Costa Rica kills 15 people and injures 32. 19 years ago in 2005, the nuclear sub USS San Francisco collides at full speed with an undersea mountain south of Guam. 1 man is killed, but the sub surfaces and is repaired. 20 years ago in the year 2004, the RMS Queen Mary II, then the largest ocean liner ever built, is christened by her namesake's granddaughter, Queen Elizabeth II. "21 years ago in 2003, Turkish Airlines Flight 634 crashes near Diyarbakir Airport, Turkey, killing the entire crew and 70 of the 75 passengers. In the same year, Air Midwest Flight 5481 crashes at Charlotte Douglas Airport in Charlotte, North Carolina, killing all 21 people on board. 22 years ago in 2002, President of the United States, George W. Bush, signs into law the No Child Left Behind Act. 28 years ago in 1996, an Antonov AN-32 cargo aircraft crashes into a crowded market in Kinshasa, Zaire, killing up to 223 people on the ground. 2 of 6 crew members are also killed. 30 years ago in 1994, Russian cosmonaut Valery Polyakov on Soyuz TM-18 leaves for Mir. He would stay on the space station until March the 22nd, 1995, for a record 437 days in space. 35 years ago in 1989, in the Kegworth air disaster, British Midland Flight 92, a Boeing 737-400, crashes into the M1 motorway, killing 47 of the 126 people on board. 42 years ago in 1982, breakup of the Bell system. In the United States, AT&T agrees to divest itself of 22 subdivisions. 43 years ago in 1981, a local farmer reports a UFO sighting in Transaix-Provence, France, claimed to be perhaps the most completely and carefully documented sighting of all time. 47 years ago in 1977, 3 bombs explode in Moscow, Russia, Soviet Union, within 37 minutes, killing 7. The bombings are attributed to an Armenian separatist group. 49 years ago in 1975, Ella T. Grasso becomes Governor of Connecticut, the first woman to serve as a governor in the United States other than by succeeding her husband. 51 years ago in 1973, Soviet space mission Luna 21 is launched. In the same year, in the Watergate scandal, the trial of 7 men accused of illegal entry into Democratic Party headquarters at Watergate begins. 52 years ago in 1972, bowing to international pressure, President of Pakistan Zulfikar Ali Bhutto releases Bengali leader Sheikh Mujibur Rahman from prison, who had been arrested for declaring the independence of Bangladesh. 60 years ago in 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson declares a war on poverty in the United States. 63 years ago in 1961, in France, a referendum supports Charles de Gaulle's policies in Algeria. 65 years ago in 1959, Charles de Gaulle is proclaimed as the first president of the French Fifth Republic. 68 years ago in 1956, Operation Orca. 5 US missionaries are killed by the Huarani of Ecuador shortly after making first contact. 78 years ago in 1946, Andrei Zdanov, chairman of the Finnish Allied Commission, submitted to the Finnish War Criminal Code an interrogation report by General Erich Buschenhagen, a German prisoner of war, on the contacts between Finnish and German military personnel before the Continuation War and a copy of Hitler's Barbarossa Plan. 79 years ago in 1945, World War II, Philippine Commonwealth troops under the Philippine Commonwealth Army units enter the province of Ilocos Sur in northern Luzon and attack invading Japanese imperial forces. And 84 years ago in 1940, in World War II also, Britain introduces food rationing. 88 years ago in 1936, Kashf-e-Hijab decree is made and immediately enforced by Reza Shah, Iran's head of state, banning the wearing of Islamic veils in public. 98 years ago, in 1926, Crown Prince Nguyen Phuc Vinh Toi is crowned Emperor of Vietnam, the country's last monarch. In the same year, Abdul Aziz ibn Saud is crowned King of Hejaz. 104 years ago in 1920, the steel strike of 1919 ends in failure for the Amalgamated Association of Iron, Steel and Tin Workers Labour Union. 106 years ago in 1918, US President Woodrow Wilson announces his 14 points as conditions for ending World War I. 112 years ago in 1912, the African National Congress is founded under the name South African Native National Congress. 124 years ago in the year 1900, President William McKinley places Alaska under military rule. 135 years ago in 1889, Herman Hollerith is issued US patent number 395791 for the art of applying statistics, his punched card calculator. 147 years ago in 1877, Crazy Horse and his warriors fight their last battle against the United States cavalry at Wolf Mountain, Montana Territory. 157 years ago in 1867, the United States Congress passes a bill to allow African American men the right to vote in Washington, D.C. 161 years ago in 1863, in the American Civil War, the Second Battle of Springfield. 189 years ago in 1835, US President Andrew Jackson announces a celebratory dinner after having reduced the United States national debt to zero for the only time. 196 years ago in 1828, the Democratic Party of the United States is organized. 209 years ago in 1815, in the War of 1812, in the Battle of New Orleans, Andrew Jackson leads American forces in victory over the British. 213 years ago in 1811, Charles Deslandes leads an unsuccessful slave revolt in the North American settlements of St. Charles and St. James, Louisiana. 218 years ago in 1806, the Dutch Cape Colony in southern Africa becomes the British Cape Colony as a result of the Battle of Blouberg. 234 years ago in 1790, George Washington delivers the first State of the Union address in New York City. 278 years ago in 1746, Second Jacobite Rising, Bonnie Prince Charlie occupies Stirling. 289 years ago in 1735, the premiere of George Frederick Handel's Ariodante takes place at the Royal Opera House, Covent Garden. 477 years ago in 1547, the first Lithuanian language book, the Catechism of Martinus Mažvydas, is published in Königsberg. 525 years ago, in the year 1499, Louis XII of France marries Anne of Brittany in accordance with a law set by his predecessor, Charles VIII. 570 years ago, in 1454, the papal bull Romanus Pontifex awards the Kingdom of Portugal exclusive trade and colonization rights to all of Africa south of Cape Bojador. 727 years ago, in the year 1297, Francois Grimaldi, disguised as a monk, leads his men to capture the fortress protecting the Rock of Monaco, establishing his family as the rulers of Monaco. 1153 years ago, in the year 871, Ethelred I and Alfred the Great lead a West Saxon army to repel an invasion by Danelaw Vikings. 1717 years ago, in the year 307, Jin Huadi becomes Emperor of China in succession to his father, Jin Huidi, despite the challenge from his uncle, Sima Ying. Okay, so that is all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you found our little trip back through history both relaxing and informative. If you liked the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and leaving a comment below. Please also consider subscribing to the channel. It will really help the channel to grow and will also ensure that you are notified of all of my future videos. Thank you again, and I hope to see you next time.